What is up, guys? This is Kobe here, and I have a very long list drafted for this video. Though granted, most of it is event content. Before I usually do these update videos, I draft this really long summary of what I plan on talking about, and in this one, I feel like half of it is mostly events. I genuinely feel like this is not gonna fit in the description, so I'm just gonna post literally everything I said in the comments down below, while in the description, I'll just have the timestamps provided for each individual point I talk about. But welcome to Destiny, part 1 of 3 parts of this update. So the reason why the event part is so long is because it's going to be going across, all 3 parts. This is going to be the only part of Destiny where I will talk about the event in this major of a detail. There will be some additional add-ons in part 2 and part 3 that I will go over at that time, but I'm probably not going to spend too much time talking about events in the later 2 videos. And I'm also not going to do a full coin shop overview of this until March. March around the end of the event, like early March, because the event ends on March 10th. So anywhere between the 1st and the 10th of March, expect the coin shop video to come. I will do a little bit of skimming, but that's gonna be about it. That's all you'll see in this video. So this video is divided into 10 different sections. Some are very long, some are gonna be pretty short. I hope I can get through a good chunk of them in time, but here we go. Destiny Part 1. For section number 1, I'm gonna be going over the entire Starlight Symphony event. Destiny is going to be a 10-week update ranging from December 30th, 2021 to the end of March 9th, 2022. And the event that will take place throughout all of that will be Starlight Symphony. In order to enter Starlight Symphony, you have a quest in the light bulb. You can get started on it through the NPC here. And the first quest related to it, you will be warped to the event map. So, as stated in the interview that was made by the devs at Nexon Korea, they told us, and they meant it when they said it, that this event is going to be exactly like Maple Live and everything that happened in Maple Live. It literally follows the exact same format, except instead of a subscriber count, they changed it into a Golden Chariot like event where you collect stamps throughout the event for extra bonus rewards. So this event has 2 different types of coins and 3 different types of shops. The very first type of coin is the Melody coin. This is like the pink beans from Maple Live, and you get these from doing certain daily missions, which here's a list on the screen. I'm not going to say all of it, and I'm not going to have it on for too long. You can check out the pinned comment down below for it. But anyway, coin shop for it, very simple. There is just an enhancement tab which shows all of the items you can upgrade. The highlights would be the 17-star scroll and the legendary potential scroll. They're making this tradable within the account, by the way. It's not going to be untradable when it reaches live. They have talked about it several times within like a bunch of notes and stuff. So, all of that. And then there's also another tab which just has like slot bags, monster blooms, EXP coupons, inventory slots, pendants, all of that. And then this tab here is purely for cosmetics. Again, whole coin shop video will be in March. Next up, we have a Meso shop. And as you can see, we have the usual enhancements like flames and premium scrolls and icogs, and then like a fairy heart, stuff like that. And then for the other coins, these are called the Harmony coins. And you can get 400 of these per week. There is a little brief list of weeklies that are shown on the screen. Again, if you don't want to pause it, check out the comment below. And skimming through this shop, we have just a bunch of enhancements like, cubes, flames, premium scrolls, icogs, all of that. I believe Reboot will have like droplets as well over like all of these scrolls. So that's pretty much decent. Look out for that. For a couple of the event dailies though, there are 2 things I want to talk about. We have this one thing called the Shining Shooting Star, and then the other called the Star Bridge. So the Shining Shooting Star is a skill that you get in the beginner tab, where after every 500 kills, you will have these NPCs that come up, which is This bird NPC right here, he basically starts off the quest and he'll spawn these big star rocks onto the map, which he will destroy for extra EXP. It's pretty much like the back punching, the pouches in Maple Live and stuff like that. And you can activate this up to 10 times a day. Let me do a quick demonstration. Alright, so it should be coming up here on this next respawn wave, and as you can see, the effect happens. You have a minute to break all of the rocks that are on the map. And then once you do so, it's just extra EXP. And again, 10 times a day. But if you want the the melody coins, you just have to do it 3 times a day. And also, there are no monthly missions. Because this is only a 10-week long event, they can't do a monthly mission format, because if they did that, then they would have to do 4 weeks for each part, and they're not going to make it as long as Maple Live. The next up, we have the Star Bridge event, which you can start with this NPC here. I don't think I'm going to get a queue because I'm pretty sure the test world is dead right now. So I'm going to go on by myself, and once you enter, you are in a map where you have a bunch of constellations, and you got to connect it together to match what is shown here on the Star Bridge. So you were already given what you like. The yellow is what is given to you, and the purple on the map is what you are trying to connect it to. So for example, a straight line up to this star up here. This is super simple. Bring it up here and it's done. That is 1 out of 15 connections you have done. And you have to do this a total of 3 times in order to finish for the event. And then once you're done, just get a bunch of EXP. It's very similar to the Tangoon event that happened in Maple Live, and it is also similar to the Puzzle Master and the soon-to-be Train Master that KMS will be getting. And Maple Sea as well. Obviously, for events like these, the more people you have, the better. The strategy for this, I suppose, would be to branch out into different parts of the map and make the patterns without having to interfere with your other party members. So there are 3 different stages, and it seems like for each stage, you have, I believe, anywhere between 12 and 15 patterns that you have to make, but that doesn't really say much because this is the second time I'm doing this, so I'm not exactly too confident about saying that. The expected time for this event, well, if you're soloing and you know what you're doing, it's probably going to take you around 6 minutes, maybe. I would say 6 minutes is a good amount. If you are in a party of 3 and you guys are really experienced, on the ball, know everything you're doing, it should definitely not take any longer than 3 minutes. It could even take like 2 minutes if you're really good. That's it. About 5.5 minute run. This one was actually pretty easy. So I got 15 connections for the first one, 12 for the second, and 14 for the third. So I think it's going to be anywhere between 12 and 15 that you have to do. And then my EXP reward. Apparently, from what I've seen, it's nerfed for 260 plus, and it's the same for under 260. So it's probably best if you do this event on characters that are level 259 and below. Also, this is not something I was going to record, but I find it really cool that whenever we have these weather effects happening, they play remixes of certain songs. I don't remember hearing one for the previous hour, but for this one, I'm hearing it, and I remember on stream, I was hearing a different one. I just found that interesting. This is Aquarium. I like it. But then I realized I never really got into weather effects, so let me talk about those. Weather effects happen every day between 10:30 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. And that's Korean time. In other servers, they probably happen every 2 hours, 24/7. But Korea, you know, it strictly follows people. They expect all their players to be on KST, right? It's not like GMS where people are playing all around the world and they don't have to cater towards one specific time zone. You only have 15 hours a day to claim weather buffs. And there are 2 different types of weather buffs. The even weather buff is the EXP one, and then the odd weather buff is the boss one with 15 attack, 15 all stat, 1500 HP and MP, 15% boss damage, and 15% IED. And now for the final event-related event-related information I have to talk about is the Starlight Chariots event. So how this works is it's like Golden Chariot. You log in, you cap your coins to get a stamp this time. Instead of getting subscribers, you get stamps. You need to cap your coins, cap your melody coins to get a stamp. If you cap on the weekends, you get 2 stamps. If you miss days, well, there is the Starlight Pass here, which does require 3k Maple points to fill in for one. And every 9 stamps you earn, you get bonus awards. So for 9 stamps, you get 10 extreme growth potions. For 18, you get a symbol selector, which it says 100 arcane and 20 authentic on here. But they mentioned on notes that when this goes live, it's going to be double the amount. So you can choose between either 200 arcane or 40 authentic symbols from this selector. Next up at 27, we have 3 experience node stones. 36 stamps is an event ring coupon, which you could choose between Tenebrous Ring, Supreme Glory Ring, or Awake Ring. At 45 stamps, you get the Growth Potion Selector coupon, which gives you 8 200 to 209 potions, 4 200 to 219 potions, 2 200 to 229 potions, or, not and, but or, a Typhoon Growth Potion. You can pick one of the 4 that is listed there. At 54 stamps, you get a Karma Unique Potential Scroll, 100%. At 63 stamps, you get a Soft Petal / Blush skin coupon, which is like the really, really white skin that a bunch of Koreans use. And then at 72 stamps, you get a Max Growth Potion, which is the growth potion that is usable up to level 249, or, 249 ZXP. And additionally, there is the Starlight Pass. The Starlight Pass costs a whopping, don't read that because they haven't updated that yet either, but after massive outrage, they changed this price from 39.8k Maple points to 19.8k Maple points. They lowered it by 20k. And what this Starlight Pass does is once you reach these stamp milestones, you get these rewards again, doubled. Everything is doubled. So the extreme potions, the symbols, the nodes, the ring, the potion selector, U-pot, skin coupon, max potion, all of that, you get it all again. In my opinion, at least in KMS, for 19.8k Maple points, that is extremely worth it. And that is everything for events for now. So it is time to get into the real meat of this patch. New boss modes. 3 new boss modes have been added. These bosses are the following. Easy Will. Easy Will is a level 235 boss. Yes, that means Will himself is level 235. It is a really good boss to bridge the gap between Easy Lucid and Normal Lucid, if it was necessary. It also only requires 560 Arcane Force, as opposed to the 760 for Normal and Hard, and it has around 15 trillion or 16 trillion health roughly, so pretty easy boss. Definitely not too far from Easy Lucid, especially lowering that Arcane Force requirement. That is very, very good, because it'd be really tough for people to try to fight Normal Will or try to fight Easy Will with Normal Will's level and Arcane Force requirement. It would be a bit difficult. There is also Normal Varus Hilla. So Normal Varus Hilla is pretty much matched with or slightly harder than Hard Will. She has around 132 trillion health, which is literally 3 health bars in hard mode. It's like doing the Genesis mission. I don't know why they made her so difficult, but they did. But she does drop arcanes, so she drops the weapon and the armor, and pretty much everything that Hard Will and Hard Lucid drops, aside from, the source of suffering and all of that. She does not drop entries for the Black Mage, and she also requires the same amount of Arcane Force as her hard mode counterparts. Then lastly, we have Normal Chosen Saren. So Normal Chosen Saren is the same as hard mode when it comes to level and authentic force requirement. Her HP is unknown. I hope it's only about like half of hard, but I'm genuinely not too sure. But her main drop from this is the Daybreak Pendant, in which I will soon be talking about the new boss accessory set. So a new boss accessory set has been added into the game. It is there to bridge the gap between the regular boss accessory set and the pitch boss accessory set. So it's right there in the middle. They added 3 new equips and they changed the Guardian Angel Ring to be a part of this new Dawn boss accessory set. So these new equips are the following. We have a Twilight Mark, which is a face accessory. It drops from normal Lucid and Will as well as hard Lucid and Will. It does not drop from easy Lucid or easy Will. There is also the Estella Earring, which drops from normal and Chaos Gloom, as well as normal and hard Darknell. And then lastly, like I said earlier, we have the Daybreak Pendant, which drops from normal and hard Varishilla, as well as normal and hard Chosen Saren. So here are the listed set effects right there on the screen, but those are actually false. Because again, another change for live server. Once this goes live, that boss damage that's on 3rd set is gonna move over to 2 set. So 2 set will have 10 attack, 10 all stat, 250 HP, and 10% boss damage. Basically 2 set and 3 set are swapped over, so 3 set will only give 10 attack, 10 all stat, and 250 health. And then 4 set stays the same with 10 attack, 10 all stat, 250 HP, 100 defense, and 10% ignore enemy defense. Moving on, 4th bit of this video, the contents guide has been completely revamped. So what they did to it is that they pretty much added a much wider variety of towns and monsters that you can go to at a specific level range. They have also added new rewards all the way up to level 200 for reaching certain milestones of the game. This helps out for beginner players who are new or returning to the game, and you can only claim these rewards 1 time per world. So at level 30, once you reach 2nd job, you receive 300 power elixirs, a 90-day snail pet, a 14-day teleport globe, a growing sprout title, a 30-day sprout flower pot chat bubble ring, Jesus, a 30-day sprout flower pot name tag ring. Once you reach 3rd job, you get a growing sprout hat. Once you reach level 80, you get 2 selective 8-slot expansion coupons for the inventory, no storage. Once you reach level 100, you get 10 massive book boxes. At 120, you get 2 more 8-slot inventory coupons. At 140, you get a Sprout damage skin and an extreme growth potion. At 160, you get a personality trait boost potion, the good one that gives 11k of the trait that you choose, as well as another extreme growth potion. At level 180, you get a growing sprout weapon and another extreme growth potion. And once you reach 5th job, at the end, you get a dream tree medal. So here's what all that looks like. I'm gonna need that light bulb on me for something I'm gonna go over here very soon. So you can't really see much of the title, but here's the medal, here's the name tag, here's the chat bubble, and this is the sprout hat as well as the sprout weapon. And yes, the hat and the weapon are cash equips. The weapon is permanent, but for 30 days it will give an additional 3 attack and magic attack. I believe they mentioned that they were going to change these to be permanent in their notes. I'm not 100% sure, but right now they only last 30 days. So I'm going to say they're permanent in my little description. If I have to update it, I will. Also, title stats, it is temporary for a very long time. That's about 3 good months. But it's 10 all stats, 500 HP and MP, 5 attack and magic attack, 10% EXP gain, and 30 Star Force, and it is tradable within the world. So keep that in mind. And then the medal stats, it is 4 all stat, 200 HP and MP, as well as 2 attack and magic attack. Also with the new contents guide, a transfer guide has been added. And what this is if you click on this big plus sign here, here is a wide variety of maps as well as mobs that you were able to access depending on if you have the stamps for the maps or the mobs. There are requirements for getting these stamps. For example, for mobs, you have to kill 400 of these mobs, of the Reverse City mobs that are right here. If you want Lantern Urdas, you want to kill 400 of them to get the stamp. If you want Happy Urdas, kill 400 Happy Urdas. These quests generally require around 400. For the lower levels, it will be about 250 just to get the stamp for it, as well as being able to teleport to them through the transfer guide. For example, I only have 2 mobs. I have the mob from Moonbridge, and I have Banes. So if I want to teleport to Banes, the guide will take me all the way over to Cave of Trial 2. And if that's something I really like, and I'm just like, hey, this is awesome, I'm glad I can transfer or teleport over here because I have this on my transfer guide, you can list this as one of your favorites by clicking on that, and then go ahead and click on the Banes, and then save it as your favorite. So you can have up to 10 favorites, whether it be between towns or monsters. There are a lot of options available, and some of these options, I don't even know why I have the ability to transfer. Like, why can I go to Verdell? I don't ever remember doing any sort of quest here on KMST at least. But I can because the game allows me. Maybe they just don't require quests in the free maps you can go to. For example, quick way to get around the world. You want to save Six Path Crossway, or you want to save Pantheon. You can go ahead, click that, save on them. Go into Six Path Crossway, you will get taken here, which you can just go to this door here at Pantheon, and then through the Pantheon gate, you get teleport to anywhere you want in Mapleworld. But unlocking these maps will require some quest lines to be completed. For example, I can't go to Leafree because I don't have Leafree quests done. And I assume Leafree, is level 100 to 109, and I do not have the required quest completed to be able to access this area. But I find it really funny because I wanted to start the quest, and I clicked this, and it just took me here. It just took me to the map to where I should start doing the quest. Which also I should mention that quests below level 200 have had their EXP increased by 90%. They are really trying to up the questing game pre-200 here. Well, I guess most of them did. I try to prove this by doing the introduction to Fox Valley on both live server and KMST, but I got the same EXP. But I did the Scrapyard intro quest on KMST, and it was giving me like 116 mil per quest instead of the 60 mil that I was getting on the live server of KMS. A story skip feature has been added to the game. That is right, a story skip. This applies to Arcane River areas. I'm not sure if it applies to Grandis areas. The patch update promo video for it did not mention Grandis, it only mentioned bosses in Arcane River. So for certain boss pre-quests in all Arcane River areas, if you've already done them on another character on the account, you have the ability to skip them on the character that you are playing. For example, my Dark Knight is integrated to the test server, so it identifies the Labyrinth of Suffering as being a completed area. So I have this here. If I press yes, I get to get a summary of the Labyrinth of Suffering, which will probably be a couple minutes. And if I press no, I don't have the option to press yes again, and it's going to make me do the entire Labyrinth of Suffering questline. I'm going to go ahead and press yes. And then after that, you have to type in Korean, I guess it says story skip or something like that. So something along the lines of that. And then it will go ahead and give me a brief summary that will take a few minutes about what goes down in the Labyrinth of Suffering. Upon completing the story skip, you are given the completion stamp for Labyrinth of Suffering, as well as the medal that comes with the area, or just any Arcane River area you skip. Do keep in mind that if you choose to skip the story of any Arcane River area, you will not be rewarded with the EXP at the very end of that area. For example, Choo Choo Island gives like 1.8 bill or something like that when you finish it. If you decide to skip the story of Choo Choo Island, you will get all of the items, so like you'll get the symbol, but you will not get that 1.8 bill EXP. Also, here's a list of all the boss pre-quests that you can skip if you have already done them before. We have OmniClan, Populatus, Von Leon, Arcarium, Pink Bean, Cygnus, Magnus, and Guardian Angel Slime. That's it. Alright, topic 6 out of 10. Link skill and keyboard presets. They exist. So how this works is there are 3 of each link skill and keyboard presets. So this is keyboard, and then this is link skill right over here. 1, 2, 3. And when it comes to swapping presets, you can actually swap them really easily. For example, if I wanted to do keyboard presets are really easy to swap. But if I wanted to swap to preset 2, I can put it on the F2 key, press OK, and then bam, it will take me to preset 2. And then I could put preset 1 back on the F2 key for preset 2, takes me to preset 1. And I can spam the shit out of that button, and it will instantaneously swap from 1 to 2. There is no cooldown for presets on the keyboard. And then for link skill presets. So here's how this works. So you can swap to whichever preset you like, but do keep in mind for whatever preset you swap to, you will lose 1 transfer for that link skill. So we have a total of 10 transfers on KMS, and if you want to transfer a link skill more than 4 times, it's going to cost you some meso. So when you transfer, it will give you a prompt. I can't show it here because I don't have a wide selection of link skills in the test server, but it will give you a prompt saying how much meso you need to spend if you want to swap certain links. And if you used up all of the limitations, it will just say that you can't swap to this preset because there is a link skill on this preset that can't be used anymore. We'll either do that or just it'll let you swap, but the link skill that doesn't have any more transfers will just be taken off. Now we are on to number 7, boss changes. I will specifically be talking about Black Mage, Varishilla, and Chosen Saren. Some pretty quick pointers. For example, Black Mage. Now is a practice mode. So this is real mode, this is practice mode. Practice mode shares the same entry limit with every other practice mode in the game, so you can enter up to 20 times a day. Once you see me load into this Black Mage fight, it will then, like I said, say practice mode on the top. And then bam, you can practice Black Mage up to 20 times a day. The Labyrinth of Suffering dungeon for Vihila has been completely removed. If you want to fight Vihila, you are given the options to fight normal mode or hard mode. So let's say I'll go into hard mode. Boom. The fight instantly begins. Also, another thing for Vihila is that the NPC chat inputs that you have to do in the altar are adjusted depending on the amount of people in the party. Here is a list on screen, and while you look at that, I will try to take strings with Hero's Will, and at the best of my ability, spawn an altar. And once I have one, she stepped on it, give it a second. Once I have one, it's going to be right here. We will stack it. And that was very, very fast. So by myself, it only requires about 10 inputs to do it. I cannot show this bit of the fight because I am ass, but in phase 2 of Chosen Saren, the pillars that come up when it's about to change phases, for example, it changes from noon to twilight, those pillars that come up that all the party members need to be on and duck in order to not die or iframe, you don't have to duck anymore. I'm sure it's... I've never ran Saren before, so I don't know how big of a change that is. At face value, it doesn't seem like much, but I'm sure to people who do run Saren, it could be a big change that you no longer have to duck whenever the phase changes in the middle of the fight. Alright, so number 8, let's talk about some improvements that were made within the game. I am not going to go over every single thing, but I will go over some highlights. There will be some patch notes in the description for this update. I will link them. So let's go ahead and get started. So cooldowns and buffs that they have less than a minute left. For example, I'll use that. If you look down here, if they have less than a minute left, they made it a bit more readable to see how much time is left on the skill. And buffs, they're up here now. They have less than a minute left. The exact same thing applies for buffs. A skill alarm system has been added to the game. So if you want to have alerts for when skills come back up, for example, let me do Dark Spear and Beholder Impact. I will go ahead and use both skills, and Dark Spear will be up fairly soon. If you look on the very bottom right, pay close attention, you will see that there will be a pop-up, an alarm, saying that Dark Spear is active and ready for use. Give it a few more seconds, Beholder Impact will then be active and ready for use. Couple extra things, the Frito portal of the Bounty Hunter portals will have its EXP increased by about 50%. In my opinion, it's still not worth it when grinding, especially in my level range. Monster Park Sunday boxes, they will now give 15-minute 2x coupons in place of the 30-minute 1.5x coupons. Honestly, 15-minute 2x, I'd rather just have the 1.5x's. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was just gonna be all purely 30-minute 2x's, but they couldn't even give us that. In Normal and Chaos Gloom, they completely changed the appearance of the debris, and it looks completely different. They did this because they wanted to make it a little bit more distinguishable. For example, this purple one that is Zombify, the pink one that is Accuracy debuff, and then the blue one will be the Stun. Which makes sense because it has an X on it, which is kind of a sign where moving is disabled. Honestly, very helpful change because it was a bit tough for me to distinguish, English is hard, the Zombify ball and the Accuracy ball. A Sprout Potion has been added to general stores. It recovers 5,000 HP and MP, and it is available for the very cheap price of 1,000 mesos each. Very, very good potion for newbie players to purchase and start out with. Extremely affordable and recovers a lot of health. When it comes to enhancing V skills, 5th job skills, your boost nodes, your skill nodes and stuff like that, they finally added a select all button to where you can just select all of them and plug it into the skill. Again, there are plenty more changes where that came from, but I already feel like this video is getting long enough, so I'm not going to cover all of it. There is a good link in the description where you can check out the rest of the changes. Now these last two, 9 and 10, it's just more events. Number 9 is Tera burning in Burning World. There is only one Tera burning during this event, but there's still 2. What do I mean by that? Well, when you get a Tera burning character to level 200, the game will reward you in the exact same world with a Tera Burninator. So with this, you'll be able to Tera burn another character on that same world up to level 200. It is a bit of a shame that it is same world only. I find that to be a bit unfortunate. Now, I'm not 100% sure that's the case, but they just said that they will reward you for it, so I'm going to assume it is going to be the same world. Okay, I'm doing this video plugin after I've already finished the video's recording, but there are some things that I completely missed. Yes, there is information about how the Tera Burning Plus rewards work for the Tera Burninated character. If you do use that Tera Burninator on a second character, you will get the exact same rewards as the first Tera Burning character, and also the rewards are different as well. So upon reaching 200, the rewards from 200 to 210 has changed. At level 200, the node stone amount has changed from 20 to 30. 205, it has changed from 20 to 60. And 210, it has changed from 50 to 0. So you still get a total of 90 nodes, but you get them at 200 and 205 now instead of 210. And then for the EXP nodes at 205, it has changed from 2 to 0. And then at 210, it has changed from 3 to 5. So the rewards are still the same, they're just distributed differently. And you still get the Eternal Flame Ring at 210. Damn, I really need to look at the patch notes more. I'll make sure not to make this mistake again. Then Burning World is also back with the whole step up event and everything. Honestly, the same old stuff. I decided to make a Burning World character and actually check for myself and see if there's anything different with the step up event. Well, I also forgot to mention that if you do plan on playing Burning World during the time of Destiny, a new passive has been added that grants 100% stance to all characters. I knew that was an issue for classes that didn't have stance and you couldn't get Mihao Link because no Link skills allowed. So they finally addressed it, and now every class has stance and burning. I got to the level to start the step up mission, and judging by this step up versus Maple Live, it doesn't really look like much is different. I think I can briefly tell there are some different rewards here and there, but for the most part, all the major rewards, like the unique emblem, is still pretty much the same. And then lastly, Special Sunday Maples. So, like they said in the showcase, there is a total of 6 of these, and we've already had one of them. I made a video over it. There will be 2 more within this update before Part 2 of Destiny comes out. There is Miracle Time, which I'm pretty sure it's simply just double the tier up rates on cubes all the way up to Legendary. Every single cube in the game has double tier up rate. I can tier up at least. And it will go on from 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Very, very long event, 15.5 hours of just straight Miracle Time. And then the next one, which will be, that's on January 9th, by the way. And then the next one will be on January 23rd. You will have Petite Pet Time. There is currently no information released. Once information does get released, I will update this video's description on what that's about, or the pinned comment, rather, on what that's about. And that's basically it. There we have it. That's Destiny Part 1. I feel like this is going to be a long video. I don't know how long this is going to be at the time I'm recording this right now. I'm about to find out, but a lot of stuff. I think the other parts will be slightly shorter, especially Part 2, because I'm going to go over a bunch of Part 2's content starting next week, because that is when the Explorer revamps finally hit the test server, and I'm going to make a handful of videos over that before I even get to the Part 2 video for it. And so it will just mainly be me going over just events, some of the balance changes that they're doing to all the jobs, as well as whatever other quality of life additions they add in the game at that time. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate your time, and I will see you guys in the next video.